What's going on, everyone? Welcome to week 4 of the Sportorium podcast. We are one short today because little baby Rupp is not feeling good.
He said that his team lost.
Yeah, he's the only team to lose, so I don't blame him. All right, so as always, we're going to get into the week 4 recap real quick. Starting off with the Thursday night game, the Bengals and Dolphins. 2 is dead.
Yeah, that was insane.
It's ridiculous. They're going to lose so many picks for that, and they should.
Yeah, that's just like not something to play around with, especially a head injury.
Yeah.
Or no, it's a back injury.
Yeah,
sorry.
Back injury. Especially with all this stuff that's coming out, like with how bad CTE has been with all like the old NFL play, not even old, like Vincent Jackson and all those guys dying so young and knowing all the problems to put him in a game in that situation is just selfish.
Yeah.
Very crazy. With that being said, I don't think that Teddy Bridgewater is that big of a step down.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's like always been like a respectable quarterback. So
he's respectable.
I mean, like when he played for the Saints, he played like 5 games. I think he won all 5.
He looked great. And last year when he was at the Broncos, he looked pretty solid too.
And I thought even when he came in, he didn't even look bad on Thursday night.
And there was that one deep ball that if that was Tua, that was not.
No.
It was very, very nice. But the Bengals offense finally looked pretty good. I guess they're starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, I like how it's not focused on Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
all the other guys are getting involved in them.
T. Higgins has been great. Tyler Boyd's been really good. Hayden Hurst. Obviously we know Joe Mixon's good.
I think Chase is due for a game now. He'll
probably have one of those 250 3 touchdown performances soon.
Yeah.
As he does. Next game we're getting into is the Vikings Saints game in London. Double doink.
Double doink, yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, the first half was very slow, but in the second, it actually became a great game.
Yeah, it was very surprising.
And Jefferson finally got back to his normal.
Back on track with this. He had a great game. Other than that, they didn't really look that great, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Just like defensively, offensively, other than Justin Jefferson. They're not what I guess we thought they were going to be after that week 1 game against the Packers. After that, we're like top 5 offense, could win the division, could be a scary team in playoffs. And at this point, I just don't think that. Like that Saints team.
And their defense hasn't looked good, really, the Vikings defense.
And I was looking at the stats, and I mean JJ has 147 yards. The next person is Phelan with 72. The rest are like 20, 15. So he had the most yards out of everyone combined.
So that's kind of like we've seen it before with the Eagles and everything. You stop Justin Jefferson, you stop that offense.
Yeah,
which is Dalvin Cook stats. Because I feel like he hasn't looked like the Dalvin Cook like that we're expecting.
He had 76 rushing yards, and he had 10 yards receiving, only 2 catches. So he wasn't,
In games like that where Justin Jefferson is going off, you kind of don't need to get Dalvin Cook involved like that.
You don't.
But I would expect that more to be like the past 2 games with the Vikings. If Justin Jefferson's not having a day, I would expect Dalvin Cook to run for like 150. Regarding the Saints, they're missing a bunch of weapons, but they still just aren't that great. Defensively, they look pretty good. Once Kamara's healthy, you got to get that guy involved because he has not been involved in the 2 games that he hasn't even been really healthy. So to say that he's washed or like doesn't have it anymore, I feel like is kind of weird.
I also like not using Taysom Hill at all. I thought that was like
especially
a
when
little
it was
surprising.
Andy Dalton starting.
Yeah,
like I would expect there to be a healthy dose of Taysom Hill in there.
Yeah,
especially when you're paying him what his contract's ridiculous.
Yeah,
or whatever his role is to get like 6 snaps a game. Next game we're getting into is the highest scoring game of the year so far, the Lions and Seahawks. No defense at all. It was a great game to watch though, because there was just something happening every single second.
Yeah, if the Lions their defense could just make a few stops, they'd win so many games.
They would be a very
they put up 45 without their like 2 star players on offense.
That's ridiculous.
And
I mean, Jamal Williams is a beast still, but not having Swift or St. Brown.
And DJ Chark was out too.
Yeah, forgot about him.
It's just that O-line is fantastic, and they're giving Jared Goff time, and that's kind of all you need to do.
Yeah,
except find a defense. They definitely need to find.
There was just no defense in that second half at all.
Stats are crazy in this game.
Yeah, all the running backs had good stats.
Yeah. Penny had 150.
Yeah.
Jamal had something similar.
He had 130.
He had 108.
Oh, 108. 108. Well, didn't he have 2 touchdowns though? Or
he had 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Penny had 2 touchdowns.
How many yards do you have?
151.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
so that's exactly what he was looking like.
And DK had a big game too.
He had 149 yards receiving yards.
And then he'd get carted to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It was just funny because I tweeted out as DK carted off. I was
and everyone's oh damn, this guy's injured.
I mean, Tyler Lockett had 91 yards too. So it's not it was just a high scoring offensive game.
Yeah. If that team had a really good quarterback like Russell Wilson or something, they'd be fantastic. Nah, Geno's better than Russell at this point. Well, having a better
Pro Football Focus says Geno Smith is the #1 quarterback this year.
He's very efficient. He's the leading the league in completion.
I hate Pro Football Focus though.
Yeah, PFF is a joke, but they have a point on that one, I guess. I'd also like to add that Tariq Woolen is an absolute stud.
Oh yeah,
he's 6'4", runs a 4.2. It's unheard of. And
there was a lot of defensive touchdowns this week. Now that I'm looking back at it.
Also, regarding the Lions offense, Jamison Williams is going to be back soon, and that's just going to add an even scarier threat to that offense. So I'm very excited to see that. Shout out Jared Goff, leading the league in touchdowns right now.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's tied.
Touchdown leaders. You got Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen's up there, Jared Goff. Come on. Props to him, though. He's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah.
Next game we're getting into, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Jets, Jets.
Yeah, I think this was a big win for the Jets, especially that before this game, they were 1-9 in Pittsburgh, and it's
I
crazy.
didn't even know that.
That's in postseason too, but, in front of that crowd when they were down, it was nuts. Don't get me wrong, Zach Wilson did not have a great game, but the ending was,
it made up for it. That one drive.
The only thing with the defense I worry about is they're rushing. They let Najee run all over them. But I mean, they got 4 picks, and they were the week before they were criticized as safeties, and they got 4 picks. So
yeah, Joyner was playing out of his mind for some odd reason.
Yeah, I think it was just a good game, especially how they got to play Miami this week. So
yeah, and
it gives them a little confidence.
Yeah, Zach definitely needed to get some rust off. It's been a while since he's played. He definitely made some really good plays. A lot of very terrible ones, but Zach Wilson's gritty was fantastic.
Yeah, he his first interception that was just stupid.
Yeah, there's a couple just stupid. They got away with too.
Sometimes he just tries to do too much, and you gotta slow it down. You gotta think about the game and the situation.
Regarding the Steelers, though, finally got to see Pickett. I wasn't surprised. I mean, he looked okay.
He has 3 interceptions.
And
he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
He did.
2 of his interceptions weren't his fault. The first one, I don't know. He just you know what? Let's go for it, and goes down the field to Claypool.
Yeah.
If you look at it on paper, you're giving your 6'4" receiver a chance on a 5'11" D back.
That was the first deep ball of the year. That's what they needed.
It literally
was. Do that sometimes too.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because Matt Canada needs to open up that offense.
You have to have your receiver, George Pickens. You should be throwing him the ball.
They don't use their wide receivers. Claypool, I don't think had a catch. Honestly,
he didn't. He had 2 targets, 0 catches.
Yeah, I mean,
Pickens had a pretty good game though.
Yeah, he did. But really, who they gave the ball was Pat, their tight end.
Yeah,
and Najee.
Yeah,
so I think they need to still get Najee in space more. They're kind of just running him dead center, and they don't have the best O line.
Yeah,
you got to throw to it. You should run actual routes.
Yeah, 100%. He's a good route runner. He can catch the ball. We've seen it last year. I don't like Matt Canada at all. He doesn't let the quarterbacks audible out of plays. That's ridiculous. In today's NFL, that is absolutely ridiculous. I can understand with Pickett maybe because he's a rookie. Trubisky is a 6-year vet. He knows what he's doing sometimes. He's stupid and he's not that great. Yeah. But I guarantee that he could audible out of plays and they would work.
So, I just can't believe the stats with their receiving stats. George Pickens 102, which is good. tight end had 85, and then next is Deontay Johnson with 11.
See, that should never occur.
And that's what really helped the Jets is
yeah.
The
Steelers are literally handing the ball to them.
Yeah.
Multiple times. I'm surprised the Jets didn't put it away sooner, honestly.
They really should have.
Yeah. Getting that many turnovers.
They shouldn't have blown the lead like they did.
They were taking dumb penalties on defense.
Yeah.
Like that roughing the pass around the Hail Mary. And then
they
got a field goal out of that.
Next game we're getting into is the Bears and Giants. Fields is the worst quarterback in the league. Get him off the field.
Yeah, he's
everyone knew that was going to be a terrible, boring game. I mean, Saquon's still doing his thing.
He's so good. Saquon is playing like the best running back in the league right now.
He's that one play that he.
Oh yeah, he's in the back
screen. Daniel Jones just left him high and dry.
Yeah, he almost got him killed.
Yeah, and he just
hospital pass.
He just comes and he goes the other way and gets the first down and makes a play.
That's a vintage Saquon.
Keeps the drive alive. Don't get me wrong; they could have kicked a field goal. I think they were in range, but
Daniel Jones is bad, but he's doing enough to let them win.
Yeah.
So, you can't really knock the guy.
It's not going to last much longer, I don't think. I think the Giants.
Really, what's holding that team right now is Saquon. He's doing so much of the work.
He is that team pretty much.
He's the running back. Part of the game, a series, he was playing quarterback because they didn't have a quarterback. So he was playing quarterback. Next thing you know, he's going to be catching passes as a wide receiver.
And he can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got to definitely figure out something with the receiving game.
I mean, Tony should be back soon. Yeah. So
I know Shepard's out.
It's honestly not even crazy to say a team like the Giants could make the playoffs just because of how weak the NFC is, and especially their division.
Disgusting to say.
What's the crazy thing is the NFC East has the highest win percentage in the league.
Yeah, but it's still early. But
it is. It's still early. But you got the Eagles who are undefeated. You got the Cowboys who are 3-1, and then the Giants who are 3-1. The only team that sucks right now in that division is the Commanders.
Yeah, and boy, do they suck.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get into that game, actually. Commanders, Cowboys. Carson Wentz has literally zero pocket awareness. It happens multiple times every game where he has a wide open lane to run, and he goes into a sack. It happens multiple times. It's ridiculous. He also threw a dot to Trayvon Diggs. Turned Trayvon Diggs into a receiver, and he went up.
That was a nice snag.
It was.
Maybe Trayvon Diggs switched their receiver.
But Cooper Rush does not turn the ball over, and that is why they are winning games.
Yeah, he's been a stud. CD's really starting to be what he was looked to be at before the season. That wide receiver one making those plays.
Especially with Gallup being back. He was kind of on a snap count, but he looked pretty good for the time that he was in.
But
and once he's playing full time, is that even with Cooper Rush, that offense is going to be really good. Zeke ran well. He had one big play. Pollard didn't do anything really.
No, he didn't. He had 6 rushing yards and 2 receiving yards.
Yeah.
But CD had 97 yards. Noah Brown had 61 yards. Zeke had 32 for receiving. Michael Gallup had 24.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. Granted, Commanders not a great defense, but
no, they're not.
They've shown on better teams. This is going to be a really big test for them coming up with the Rams.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And that defense is really good. We know the edge rushers. Tank Lawrence, Micah Parsons, pretty much everybody on that defense is good.
Yeah, and I think the Cowboys, what you do is you ride till Cooper loses, if Dak's healthy. But
you can't rush.
Don't rush Dak in. If you're winning games, just let it be. Let Cooper play.
If the season was falling apart and you're 0-4 right now and Cooper Rush is terrible, then rush Dak back. Cooper Rush has looked great, and even if they do lose a game, it's probably not going to be because of him. He has not given them a reason to lose yet.
No.
Next game we're going over is the Titans and Colts. Feed King Henry. That's all you got to do. Colts are still in shambles. They almost came back, but they didn't. Their O-line is terrible, so Jonathan Taylor can't get anything going.
Yeah, watching that game, I'm just I don't know how this team beat the Chiefs last week.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Because the Chiefs beat themselves that game, honestly.
Still. That just you still lost, so it's
you did.
Yeah, I have no idea. Matty Ice is he's not that guy anymore.
He's not. He's gotta retire. He should have retired after the Super Bowl.
His career went downhill after that. So
Yeah.
I heard that Irsay is very fed up with Ballard and Reich. I don't know how true that is, but I would be too, considering that the past couple of years, the quarterback decisions that have been made for that team are just like, what are you doing? You get old ass Phillip Rivers, the guy retires a year after. Carson Wentz, who's terrible, gets traded in a year. And now you have Matt Ryan, who's on the last leg of his career.
And they also had Jacoby Brissett.
They had Brissett. Brissett was the best out of those guys, pretty much, which is
and I mean
crazy. Luck absolutely just screwed that franchise. I mean, even so, you gotta work with that and try to upgrade at the position instead of just like plateauing at bad. Every single time they made a QB move, whether that be for Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, every single time it was just like, really? Like Russell Wilson was available this offseason. Go for Matt Ryan. There's just a bunch of things that, I don't know, they could be on their way out, that whole coaching staff, front office. Next game we're getting into is the Texans and Chargers. Chargers D is suspect.
Yeah,
granted, there's some injuries, but
yeah, they were supposed to be like this crazy defense this year.
I feel like it happens every year for the Chargers, like going back to Phillip Rivers' years. On paper, the team is great, and then they just disappoint in the year. It's kind of just a Chargers thing to do. The offense is still really good, though.
Eckler decided to show up this week.
Yeah, what a game for Eckler, finally.
Herbert, he spreads the ball well to all his guys on the field, so he knows how to use his players.
And Keenan Allen hasn't been playing. Should be back this week.
Herbert doesn't even look like he's like hurt anymore either. Yeah, I don't know what happened with all that.
Regarding the Texans, Brandon Cooks had a good game, but they almost like came back randomly for whatever reason. I don't know how that's why I was saying the Chargers D is suspect. Like, how did you let that happen?
Two-star rookie running back showed up this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damian Pierce looks really good.
He looked good. That long touchdown run was good for him. He looks like a beast.
One of the things that I was kind of worried about with him is if he had like breakaway speed. And I'm not going to say he has breakaway speed, but to take that to the house, not get tracked down, he's pretty fast. He's pretty much got everything. He could be that franchise running back. He looks great. Definitely better than Rex Burkhead. Next game we're getting into is the Browns and Falcons. There's no reason that Amari Cooper should have one catch at the end of the game. Ever. That's just dumb. How did Chubb do?
Receiving, he had 9, and rushing, he had 118. So
Nick Chubb.
And one usual Chubb things.
Yeah, just gotta feed.
It didn't even look like
Amari Cooper should just not end that game with one catch for 9 yards. And that was pretty much the difference there. Like, the running backs ran well. They did their thing.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get him the ball.
Exactly. I mean, you saw the past 2 weeks, you get him the ball, he produces. He's a great receiver. You have to utilize that. And speaking of utilizing someone more, what are you doing, Arthur Smith? Kyle Pitts is blocking every play. The guy is a unicorn. I can understand if you want your tight ends blocking for like play action stuff, but like the guy could be out wide. He's literally your number 2 receiver if you put him there. I don't understand. And Drake London didn't even have that big of a game.
Yeah, he didn't.
Pretty much just Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, now he's hurt, so we'll see how they do.
Very, very
big loss. I think that's just a downfall now.
They had guys step up, like that guy Tyler Algier.
Yeah, Alligator. Yeah. I think he's pretty good. So to see him, I don't know if he's gonna have the full workload because I think Damian Williams is probably coming back soon. I forgot he was on the Falcons, but Damian Williams is pretty good.
Marcus Mariota threw the ball 7 times.
Did he actually?
Yeah. Well, he only completed 7 passes and he attempted 19.
Wow, that's a Justin Fields
vibe.
Yeah. I mean, like.
Well, yeah, because Patterson gets like 30 touches a game and now he's dead. So they're like, I don't know what they're going to do.
Next game we're getting into is the Jags and Eagles. That was just a really bad weather game. So I'm not too worried about the Jaguars turning the ball over 5 times. It was weird. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence had 4 fumbles. But it was just a monsoon pretty much. So it doesn't really matter. They looked great in the beginning, though. I thought that they were going to just absolutely blow out the Eagles. The Eagles are playing like the best team in football for another week. And they have such a good rushing game that when it is bad weather, I mean, Jalen Hurts didn't throw the ball that much. So Miles Sanders had a great game. Jalen Hurts had a great game on the ground.
He only completed 16 passes.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence only completed 11.
Yeah, it was just weird weather.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But once again, Eagles still look great.
Yeah.
Offensively, defensively.
Still haven't played anybody crazy yet, though.
No, this is the best team they played, and they didn't really. It's a bad weather game, so you can't really tell.
Their schedule is easy, so they're not really playing anybody.
Exactly. Jalen Hurts is still not an MVP contender. I'll say it every week. He's playing great, not an MVP contender. Jared Goff is higher in the MVP race than Jalen Hurts is right now.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. That's real.
Yeah. It's just no one wants to give because Goff. If Hurts had those stats, it'd be like everyone would be going insane about it.
They would be give him the MVP now.
Next game we're getting into is the Bills and Ravens game. Halftime, I was like, all right, season's over. Bills are overrated. They lost by 40. And then they came out in the second half and they looked like the Buffalo Bills again. They're still, in my mind, the best team in football. They're just a little banged up. They just started slow on offense. Just couldn't get anything going whatsoever.
Yeah, I think what's holding the Bills right now is their defense with their injuries. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to get healthy, though. Dane Jackson, he played good. I mean, I don't even know how he's back. He snapped his neck 2 weeks ago. But Elam has been shut down so far. He hasn't been tested that many times, but he has been absolutely phenomenal. DeMar Hamlin looked good in place for Micah Hyde. And Jordan Poyer is one of the best safeties in the league. It's pretty much undeniable. That last pick in the end zone, that saved the game for them. Instead of starting on the 3-yard line for a game-winning drive, they started on the 20. I don't think that it was the Ravens' defense that choked this game like they usually do, though. It was more so the offense couldn't get anything going for the Ravens because the Bills were just shutting them down. Lamar wasn't even like running well, just nothing. It was just the Bills just looked like the Bills again.
I mean, that was just a bad call at the end of the game not to kick the field goal for the Ravens.
Yeah, and Harbaugh's reason for it was also weird. He said that he trusted his defense enough. But like, if you trust your defense, then you could take the 3 points and stop them.
They haven't been good for a while. Their defense,
it's weird though because they look good and they look phenomenal in the first half against the Bills, but then by the second half they just, I don't understand. It's so weird. And they didn't really do it this game. They're finally starting to get everybody back together, like Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, and all them. But they got to figure it out. I still think that they are a very scary team in the AFC, and Lamar's still playing great. But Josh Allen outplayed him. He's number 1 for MVP right now in my eyes. I know it's obviously way too early, but he outplayed Lamar, and everybody was pretty much giving Lamar the MVP.
I mean, they're 2-2. So are the Browns. So are the Bengals.
Yeah, it's not like anybody in that division's doing crazy right now. So it's obviously wide open, and I think they'll probably win the division. It'll be close between them and the Bengals. That's why I'm very excited for this week.
Yeah.
But
what's also crazy is the Ravens, their last 5 home games, they did not win.
It is pretty weird. Yeah. Especially since it's the Ravens. It's just a good franchise.
Yeah.
Next game we're getting into is the Cards and Panthers. Baker's trash.
He's actually terrible.
He's so bad.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see like Darnold. I just saw he's coming back soon, right? Is he?
Yeah, he's not ready yet.
But I saw he's like
eligible to come back.
Yeah.
Baker is playing like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. He is rivaling Justin Fields for worst quarterback right now. And he might be winning because he does not have the rushing upside.
Yeah, no.
I think he's a little bit better of a passer than Justin Fields, but it's close. He's not good at all. DJ Moore, free that man. It's very unfortunate. They got CMC involved in the passing game a lot. This was like a vintage CMC game, so that's good to see at least.
Yeah, you had 9 catches for 81 yards.
Yeah, that's McCaffrey.
DJ Moore was 6 for 50.
And as weird as it is to say, that's one of his best games of the
year.
Yeah,
that's
sad.
Terrible.
Robbie Anderson is not used at all in that offense either.
It's pretty much
no one is.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. If DJ Moore is having that stat line,
yeah, what do you expect?
He's like your clear-cut number 1 best receiver on that team.
And when McCaffrey's getting the most. I mean, it is McCaffrey, but
if that offense runs to McCaffrey, they'll be fine. And they did it last week, and it didn't work just because Baker's garbage. But their defense looked good for a little bit. I guess that's the only positive you could say about the Panthers. Regarding the Cardinals, they're probably going to heat up when D-Hop gets back. They're still like weird. They're like good, but they're
not.
It's so,
James Conner hasn't done a goddamn thing.
He has not done. Yeah, they need to get him like in space. The same
like,
thing that I was saying with like Najee, just running up the middle most of the time kind of just doesn't work. And he was like a touchdown machine last year, and he hasn't been too great. I'm pretty sure it's like one rushing touchdown all year. But I mean, they just brought him back on a 3-year contract, so obviously they want him, so utilize him right. He has very good receiving abilities if you get him in space, and that's what I think they should do more of. Zach Ertz is having a very big role in that offense. That's good to see because he's pretty good. Marquise Brown looks great.
Yeah, Hollywood looks really good the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they need guys to step up, especially with D-Hop out. You got two more games left.
Next game we're getting into is the Broncos and Raiders. Josh Jacobs had a great game on the ground.
Yes, he
Derek
did.
Carr ran multiple times and is like apparently very athletic and fast, which I was very confused.
Yeah.
But maybe that should be utilized.
Rushing yards?
Yeah, he was running so much.
And he ran 7 times. Jesus.
Yeah, it was so weird. And he's actually fast.
The Broncos are very bad.
I hate them so much.
They shouldn't even be. They shouldn't even have the record that they have.
They should be defeated.
And I don't blame this, but a lot of people had them, making the Super Bowl.
People had them winning that division.
And
that's not happening.
They're not.
I think they're going to come in last, actually. I think the Raiders are going to finish even above them.
Yeah. The only thing is the Broncos defense looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pat Surtain is looking phenomenal.
But now with Javonte Williams,
that's a huge loss.
So it's
that's
like
a huge
but loss. Melvin Gordon fumbles at like at least once a game. So
did he have, was it 4 fumbles that he had? He got some of them back, but
I don't know how many. I know he
definitely
turned it over once.
Yeah. Now they just signed Latavius Murray. Boone looks pretty good. He's more like the receiving role, but are you going to use Melvin Gordon as like the every down guy, or is that just going to be committee? I think that how Latavius Murray looked for the Saints, he looked pretty good. And he didn't fumble the ball 4 times. So maybe he's even better than Melvin Gordon. Who knows? All I know is that is a huge loss for them. Russ started to look a little better.
Yeah, he looks like he's clicking in more. He completed 17 out of 25 for 237 yards,
Still not Russ numbers that we're used to, but
but he spread the ball well. I mean, he did.
I still just don't think their offense just still doesn't look good.
No, especially like on paper, that offense is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just like
Courtland Sutton's really the only one that like looks really good.
He's been a big disappointment. He makes like some big plays.
He drops the ball too.
Great route runner, not great hands.
He had 4 catches for 53 yards.
I'm pretty sure it was just like one long catch, pretty much, and the others are just like. I was just expecting him to have a huge role in that offense. Wouldn't have been surprised if he was having a better year than Sutton. Sutton's a very, very good receiver, but
I actually thought Judy was going to be like the one this year.
Yeah, because like he's so good at route running. He has the capability. Other than catching the ball, he could be one of the best receivers in the league. Yeah, I hate the Broncos. They should be on 4. Next game we're getting into is the Patriots and Packers. That's why Rupp isn't here. Fortunately, he can't talk about it.
The Packers aren't that good at all.
Their offense is
that's how I'm going to start it. The running backs are still good though. That's like really the only reason that they're even able to win it. Half those receivers just like can't catch the ball.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, these two teams, I think it was just that of the running backs.
The receivers make like good plays every now and then. Like Lazard had a really big catch.
Yeah.
Dubs like makes a couple plays here and there. Then he drops the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, Rodgers doesn't help that at all, though. He's a very bad leader. So
I mean,
nothing's ever his fault.
No.
Anything that happens, he's immediately yelling and looking at somebody else.
Lazard had over 100 yards.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just getting so many targets, and it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's definitely not – I wouldn't say he's fallen off, but he hasn't looked like he has the past 2 years, and a huge part of that is not having Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
He's going to want to go to a new team if he stays in the league.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that.
He's going to the Bucks after Brady retires.
That'd be crazy.
You should go
to the Jets.
No, I think he should go to the Panthers.
You think he wants to go there?
He doesn't want to go there. I can almost guarantee that. Regarding the Patriots, their defense looked pretty solid. Jack Jones, he's apparently really good. Just so annoying that Bill Belichick just like finds some random corner in the late rounds. And you're just like, all right, you want to be an all-pro? Come here. Not saying Jack Jones is all-pro level yet, but he had a great game.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
Yeah.
One of the big things that Rupp was absolutely throwing up about throughout the game is Isaiah Wynn. He got benched, but Rupp hates Isaiah Wynn. And you could ask him, he'll tell you. Isaiah Wynn is terrible. He's the reason that Brian Hoyer got hurt, which honestly, that's probably a good thing for them in that game. You never want to see anybody get hurt, but Zappy looked pretty good.
Hoyer also had like no awareness at all either.
Yeah, no,
like somewhere to Wentz.
He's terrible.
Like this guy just running full speed at him and just hits him.
Yeah,
so dumb. I was very glad to see some Zappy action though.
Yeah. And the Patriots running backs are all just still always good, like usual.
Yeah, I think it'd be
moving
nice.
the chains. I was praying that the Packers lost that game though. I would have loved to see Rodgers' face. Like
I wanted to see them lose just for that, but AFC East. I hate the Patriots. I was rooting for the Packers just because.
Yeah, it was too.
That would have been absolutely embarrassing.
Rupp was next to me, so I just want to see him
be happy for once in his life.
Poor guy. We miss you, buddy. Next game we're getting into is the Sunday night game. Wow. Chiefs look like their offense is amazing still. Their defense looked pretty great for most of the game. And Mahomes is just phenomenal. It's very, very annoying. Yeah, they take away the number one receiver on that team, and they're still just as good.
Mahomes wasn't lying before the season when he said everyone was going to get the ball.
Yeah, he's spread. Everybody has a catch. Everybody's doing everything for that team. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was a huge answer to last week losing to the sorry ass Colts.
Yeah, when you lose to a team like that, you gotta bounce back, and wow, they did.
Yeah, they came out flying, forced a fumble off the kickoff. Travis Kelce touchdown.
Yeah, within like 13. I'm not saying that. Yeah, but very quickly they scored.
Everybody looked good. I mean, the defense didn't look amazing just because it's like they were kind of like playing prevent the entire game because they went up like 21-3, like just like that. So it's just like
it was kind of just playing to maintain that lead. If you give up big plays and stuff, whatever, you're still up by 20 points.
And I love seeing Pacheco in there.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's going to be something special. And even Clyde had a really good game again.
Yeah,
it's so weird because I'd love to see more Pacheco, but Clyde is doing great. So you can't like take away his touches.
Yeah. I think that they could be a good duo.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the most snaps Pacheco got so far this year. So I don't see him losing his snaps. He runs so hard.
He does. He looks really, really good.
Travis Kelce's still just that guy. He just always finds a way to get open.
I don't understand. But that we got to talk about that one play. Pat Mahomes just making everybody look silly.
Yeah, Devin White, like probably one of the best, if not the best, like top 3 linebacker coming at you full speed, and you think to stop and spin like into him, and then just throw a little like shovel pass to Clyde in the back of the end zone.
Ridiculous.
That was probably my favorite play. Yeah, that was crazy. When I saw the replay, I was like, I got a little scared. I was like, geez.
Yeah, I didn't see it till the next day. I was like, wow, that's bad. But yeah, Mahomes is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I just want to talk about rushing for the rushing stats with both of them. Like,
oh yeah,
Hilaire had 92 rushing yards. Pacheco had 63 rushing yards. I mean, we learned. Look, they can run the ball to the Chiefs. You know, they can use that run game, and you know, I think this was like the most rushing yards that the Bucs have let up.
Yeah.
In like
and
the last
also,
couple
how
of
many
years.
How many yards did Fournette have by the end of the game?
I was just gonna get to that. Like the Buccaneers, I don't know how many he had, but they only had 3 rushing yards the entire game.
That's crazy. Granted, you're down instantly, so you can't really run the ball. But
Rachaad White had 6, and then technically Leonard Fournette had -3. So
so that's why they only had 3.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So, like, I mean, the only person they had to really worry about was Mike Evans.
I mean, he still had 2, but then again, it was like it's kind of like just all their points were like kind of garbage. Like they were just.
Yeah, I mean, half the game was garbage time.
Yeah,
so. They were getting the Brady. They were,
Snead just destroyed Brady.
Yeah,
they got that.
It was a dominance for the Chiefs in Tampa Bay. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I was listening to Good Morning Football and they were talking about how like, the hurricane affect their lives. Like you're an NFL athlete, a hurricane, like, come on, you could focus onto a game.
It's not like any of them were like there, like while the hurricane, like they all evacuated.
And
the team flew them all to Miami.
Exactly. They flew their pets to Miami
literally
too.
all their family. There's nothing to worry about.
One of the rookie linemen had a pet bunny and they flew it. So you didn't have an excuse. You were on national television and you got smoked. As Coach Rhodes would say, you got your clocks cleaned.
I think this is probably the scariest Chiefs team like since Mahomes got here, which is people probably like, no, that's like not true. But it's like because the defense is finally like respectable for once.
Yeah.
And the offense, I mean, they lost Tyreek Hill, but like it doesn't even look like they lost a step.
There's some moments where you kind of see how just the yak of Tyreek is kind of missing. But with how Mahomes just makes everybody better around him, that really doesn't matter. They're gonna move the ball if they want to.
Basically evolved like their style. Like they don't throw it's just like 10 yards, like you just move the chains like slowly. And they never really did that because it'd just be like, oh, big play to Tyreek, like big play. And now it's like different.
Yeah, they're a very scary team, which sucks. It's so annoying. I want the Chiefs to be bad just once so the Bills could have a good year.
Yeah, and the Chiefs defense is leading in like the least amount of rushing yards given up. So they're like the number one defense right now for that rushing.
That's crazy. Just a couple weeks, Bills and Chiefs, gonna be a great game. Hopefully, gonna learn a lot about both teams.
James got his birthday win.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I still think
to James.
Yeah. And still talking about like the Bucs, like I think they're gonna be fine also. Like, because their offense is like with all those guys there still, like they're still like a dangerous team. And I mean that defense is good. It didn't look good at all against the Chiefs, but I think they'll be
you can see that offense with everybody back. They look good.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very big difference going from Brashad Perriman and Cole Beasley to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and Julio Jones, even though Julio didn't do anything. But yeah, I think they'll be fine. Brady's getting a divorce, so who knows where his head's going to be at. But with how weak the NFC is, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a big run.
Yeah. That's just going to give him motivation. Let's be honest.
Yeah, football and no, just
thank you, Giselle.
Last game we're talking about is the Monday night. My God, Sean McVay, what are you doing, man? Kyle Shanahan absolutely owns you.
Matt Stafford, what are you doing too?
That guy.
Maybe look at somebody else other than Cooper Kupp for once.
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
It's like not even a joke anymore.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
and the only other guy he throws to is Tyler Higbee and Ben Skoranek.
Yeah,
the guy is racist.
He does not throw to Allen Robinson at all. He doesn't look at him. He doesn't.
Tyler Higbee won my fantasy matchup this week. Sorry, Dad.
They just spam Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I don't know how Kupp's always open too. Like,
yeah, Kupp's ridiculous.
I think when he threw Stafford through the pick six, it was to Kupp, right? Was it?
It was Tyler Higbee.
So he
out.
They finally realized like who to cover.
That's Troy Polamalu 2.0.
Yeah, I was about to say Hufanga is playing out of his. He's literally playing like a top 3 safety this year.
He read that play like it was
cat in the hat.
Yeah, I mean I saw the replay of it and I'm like, you see him and he's like what 5-10 yards behind where the ball was thrown, and you just see him come out like a hawk and just
you read that like a book. That was a great
Stafford
play.
wasn't.
I love plays like that.
It's also like not all on Stafford because that O-line is just atrocious.
Yeah, it is. And then regarding the 49ers, Debo is him.
Debo I literally wrote that down. Debo is him.
that touchdown, I mean, that was a bad throw by Jimmy G.
Terrible.
To be completely honest.
Very close to a pick six.
Yeah, it could have been a pick six or even just a pick. But he just made everyone look stupid. Jalen Ramsey,
that clown.
What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Ramsey's just getting torched this year.
He is. He's making some good plays against the Falcons.
He's still making good plays, but it's just like he runs his mouth so much. So when something like that happens, obviously everyone's going to just rip you apart.
Yeah. And he deserves it 100%. I also think that just got to lay off the Cam Akers train. I think Darrell Henderson just looks better every single time he touches the ball. Now we're going to get into the week 5 predictions. Starting off with Thursday night, Colts and Broncos. We all got the Broncos. Colts don't look good. Jonathan Taylor's out.
Yeah, they don't have.
Yeah,
They don't have that.
Don't see any way the Broncos lose this game, but
Who's
who knows?
The Broncos aren't good.
Yeah, they're not.
They're
good,
not that
but
good.
If
But
they lose this game, then they're in trouble.
yeah,
Actually, I can't even say that. The
I was-
Chiefs lost to them. I don't
I
know,
was gonna
but
say
like,
something like that.
it's not the same at all.
No, that was like just a trap game. That happens. The
Yeah.
Broncos are actually like not great.
Yeah, I think
Chiefs
the
showed
Chiefs-
that they could be the best team in the league.
and they got screwed over in that game just with a bunch of stuff. But
Yeah,
we don't have
This
to like. we're not
this
gonna
is
go
the
into
time
discussion.
for Denver to get their stuff together and have a game. You know, it's week 5. You're a month into the season. It's time to start. If you're this team that everyone says, you got to start playing like it.
yeah, and like defensively, they're going to look good.
Yeah.
You're not playing against anything special. Pittman's really good. After that, who's the next best guy on that team? Like maybe Mo Alley.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. That's why I think the Colts are just gonna get killed. Like they're not gonna
Yeah.
be able to score without, especially without Jonathan Taylor. But
Yeah,
Hines is not bad at all. So
yeah, but I don't know if he's going to be able to like actually carry that offense.
Yeah,
like
you never
Jonathan Taylor
know.
would.
I wouldn't be surprised if like he just somehow has like a crazy game. He always does that. I'll just have like one game
Just
where he
one
goes
random
off.
good game.
Yeah.
Next game we're getting into is the Giants and Packers, which is in London. We all have the Packers there for Tyler as the Giants.
Yeah, I just think the Giants, they won a lot of ugly games, and I think the Giants defense can step up. I think they can play. They can keep up, and I think like the Patriots really didn't have any talent. At least the Giants have Saquon.
Yeah.
But I think this would be really bad if Aaron Rodgers loses to Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
But the way that the Giants are playing, they'll do anything for a win. So,
and it's not like the Packers have looked great.
yeah,
They've looked
I mean,
bad, really. So I mean, I could definitely see it going the Giants' way, but
it's
I'm
also
gonna
Aaron Rodgers.
say the safe pick is the
Yeah.
Packers. Next game, Steelers and Bills. Bills blowout. Anything less is unacceptable. The only thing that I could think of that'll just randomly happen is Kenny Pickett has like a crazy game because there's not a lot of film on him. But I mean, he hasn't looked good in that one game that the half that he played.
And I think, I mean, maybe he'll throw the ball more in this game, but like when he started against the Jets, he really did not throw the ball. He really did.
When he did, it didn't look great. I mean,
No.
If you're throwing those balls to get picked off by the Jets, the Bills are going to pick it off and house them. And Bills secondary is starting to get healthier. I don't think Trey White is going to be back yet. I think he'll probably be back for the bye. Jordan
I know
Poyer
the
is healthy.
spread is like plus
The spread's
14.
14, which is crazy. And I think that the Bills will cover that. They're the best team in the league in my eyes still. I think this is a really good game for the Bills to start getting that running game going. Cameron Hayward I don't know if he's going to play. I think he will, but he was like limited in practice. Minka might be out, which is huge.
Yeah,
if he's out, it's completely no chance the Steelers win that.
I know he got hurt like the last drive for the Jets.
Next game we're getting into is the Chargers and Browns. We all collectively have the Chargers. I could definitely see it going the Browns' way with how suspect the Chargers D's looked if you just feed Nick Chubb and get Amari Cooper more involved. But I just think the Chargers have a much better offense.
Yeah, I think
we'll be able to just put up better numbers.
I think if Eckler has a game like he's probably not gonna have a game like that again. I mean, he can, but like,
I mean, he didn't even have that many yards. He had touchdowns.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, like he could, if he's in the game more and producing, you got hopefully Keenan Allen's back.
Yeah,
you got Everett that does well, Mike Williams that does well. Palmer's gets in there a little bit. So it's,
Carter
got weapons.
Yeah. So really the only thing you got to stop with the Browns is Njoku, Cooper, and the running backs in your front.
Yeah. And more so just like if you stop Nick Chubb, you're going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have the passing
and
they would stay in games.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't really throw it deep. Brissett doesn't really throw it deep.
No.
He likes to throw that quick screen pass or that short pass. So.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes out like there's a pretty deep ball to Donovan Peoples-Jones, but those corners for the Chargers should honestly lock up those receivers.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper should probably make a couple of big plays, but I think it really relies on how Nick Chubb does because Nick Chubb is pretty much that offense, and you just have to rely on him Let's move the ball. Next game we're getting into is the Bears and Vikings. We all collectively have the Vikings on this one.
Bears are doo-doo.
Yeah, like there's I don't know. They have nobody on offense.
Yeah.
Justin Fields throws the ball 3 times a game max. Just runs around and does nothing. Like
He does nothing.
The only thing
that they have
is circles.
It's not a prime time game, so Kirk Cousins will probably show up. So
yeah, that's true. That's a good point. The only thing that the Bears have going for them is their running backs. I don't know if Montgomery's going to play. I think he should. And
Herbert's a beast.
He is. He had like an okay game against the Giants, but
pretty
straightforward. Vikings should definitely win this by significant good amount.
Yeah.
Divisional game, anything can happen.
I'd say a touchdown at least. They should win.
Yeah. Spread 7, so probably something around there. Next game we're getting into is the Lions and Pats. We all have the Lions except for who. I just think that the Lions offense they just can't keep up the Patriots.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought process.
And
I just think this is the game that Lions finally actually win.
Yeah, they're due for a win. The way they've been playing, they average 35 points a game this year.
Ridiculous.
I don't think the Patriots can get close.
It's not like the Patriots defense is that bad. I just think they're not. They can't. I don't think they're gonna score enough to beat the Lions.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And this is a good test for the Lions defense because the Patriots are gonna be maybe Mac Jones is back, but they're not a high-powered offense. So if you could limit those running backs, limit like the big Devontae Parker plays that somehow happen every now and then, I think this is a good game to really get that defense going. But offensively, they're a powerhouse apparently. So I just don't think the Patriots are going to keep up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rupp. Next game we're getting into is the Dolphins and the Jets. James and Tyler, you guys got the Jets. Me and Rupp have the Dolphins. It's tough. It's tough. Teddy Bridgewater, he's serviceable. I think that he could get the job done. And I think they do take a step back a little bit without Tua, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. Defensively, they're obviously going to look the same. Zach Wilson didn't look too great. He's got weapons. They all look pretty good, but
yeah, I think the biggest test for the Jets this week is their secondary, how they're going to handle Waddle and Tyreek. I think you got to worry about that. This is because a lot of people, Sauce has been, pretty good, but he hasn't really. I mean, the only really wide receiver he's played against was Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and he looked great.
But Tyreek is test for Sauce.
But Tyreek has speed, so this is really the time for if Sauce wants to make a name in himself, this is the time.
Yeah, for sure.
He showed up against Jamar. If he can do the same thing against Tyreek Hill, then I'm a believer.
I definitely think this is it's a big test for the Jets defense.
Next game we're getting into is the Falcons and Bucks. We all got the Bucks.
Yeah, I think the Bucks dominate this game. I mean, Falcons no Patterson.
Yeah,
Bucks just kind of got lit up at home on prime time, so they're going to be looking. There's a good, nice ease back into everything. Evans is back, just flow back into their offense.
Yeah,
I think Bucks they make a bounce back game, but it's not an easy win. I think the Falcons are definitely going to give them a fight. So they got I definitely
their offense is pretty serviceable.
Yeah,
Drake London's really good. It's going to be really interesting to see how that offense runs without Cordell Patterson, because Algier looked pretty good last week. So if he could kind of carry the load running the ball, get Drake London the ball, get Kyle Pitts the ball, then maybe things happen. But
yeah,
I think the Bucks
Pitts probably still won't get the ball, but
no, probably not.
Can only hope every week.
He's just an entertaining player, and just to see him do well is just fun. Makes great plays.
I just don't understand it at all, but
it literally does not make sense.
That's like if Travis Kelce just blocked every play.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
He's arguably the best offensive player you have.
Yeah.
Get him the ball. It's not that hard. I don't understand. I can understand the concept of wanting your tight end in to block. I do not understand the concept of having Kyle Pitts being that tight end in to block on every single play. It does not make sense to me. Next game we have is the Titans and Commanders. Tyler's going against the Titans because
Bro's a Titans hater for no reason.
No, I don't know.
The Commanders are garbage.
The Titans
really bad.
They really don't have anything
No, they have somebody who's number 22 in the backfield. Yeah, they don't have
Oh,
anything.
Derrick Henry.
That's
Yeah,
all you
who's
need.
stopping him on the Commanders?
I don't know.
Chase Young from the sideline.
I mean, Jonathan Allen, Deron
Yeah, I was
Payne.
saying they're
I
like,
think
it's
it's
good.
just like
I think it's another game like the Packers and Giants. They could go
that's
either.
true. I mean, I
just
wouldn't
think-
be surprised at all
I-
with any. I would never be surprised Titans losing just because Tannehill is your quarterback. What do you expect?
Look,
And
this
that
could,
defense is not great. And Carson Wentz
Yeah.
could just have one of those Carson Wentz games where he puts a 4 touchdown and
Yeah.
500 yards for no reason. Next game we're getting into is the Texans and the Jaguars. They have a very high-powered offense right now. Their defenses look great. Texans have looked god awful.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
also
simple.
they have a bounce back game. Look, they lost to an Eagles team that's respectable. But the way they lost was not. They blew the lead. I think they're gonna come out and they're gonna want to win this game. So
Yeah, division opponent too. It's a big game.
yeah.
That division is still up in the air right now. I think it's the Jaguars.
Which is
to take,
crazy.
but
It's really crazy.
it is. Next game we're getting into is the 49ers and Panthers. We all have the 49ers. I'll be surprised if the Panthers score 1 point.
Yeah.
The 49ers defense should absolutely
Debo's-
shut them down.
Who's the
Debo's are
backup for the
crazy.
Panthers?
I'm just right now.
PJ
like, I don't-
Walker.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, just
he's
put
still
him
there.
there. Honestly,
Shit, honestly.
if Baker doesn't do anything the first half, just do what the Steelers did and put in PJ Walker.
Maybe because Baker has looked absolutely awful, and he is not going to look good this week. Panthers defense has looked pretty okay at times. They have some good corners, but I don't think J.C. Horn is stopping Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if this goes the Panthers' way with how they've looked. Next game we're getting into is the Cowboys and Rams. I mean, it's so weird to think that a Super Bowl champion team can lose to a backup quarterback. And I think there's a very, very, very large possibility that happens.
Yeah, I love Cooper Rush and CD, so it's hard to go against them. But I just feel like the Rams, at the end of the day, if they got to win this game.
Yeah, they. A lot of criticism after Monday night, so they really need this game. And I think if they win it, it's a respectable win for them.
Yeah, it's not like the Cowboys are.
They're not bad at all.
team.
I mean,
They are. They're pretty good.
I think you need to come out and you need to win this game. Sean McVay.
it's at the Rams too. So
The only thing that I could see happening is the Cowboys defensive line just absolutely eating Matthew Stafford again, which is a very, very large possibility. But
I mean, he'll probably still get beat up, but I mean, Cooper Kupp.
He's going to go off as usual.
Yeah, just typical Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but I could definitely see it going the Cowboys' way, and I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. Next game we got is the Eagles and Cards. We're all taking the Eagles. Just can't bet against the Eagles right now, but this could be a weird trap game for them. I could see it. I don't know
how
why.
Kyler plays.
Yeah,
I hope this game's on TV. I think it's going to be a good game, so I'm hoping.
it should be a good game.
So
I'm still going to take the Eagles, but I
Yeah.
can definitely see the Cards doing some weird stuff and making it happen. Eagles just simply look like the best team in the league right now. Cardinals haven't looked great, so got to go with the Eagles with this one. Getting into the Sunday night game, this should be an absolutely fantastic game. Bengals Ravens. I'm pretty sure we can. Yeah, I mean it's probably not going to be, but theoretically it should be a lot on the line. We all collectively have the Ravens, but I think we could all agree that could go either way.
Are they
quickly.
away?
It's in
at
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah.
They might lose 6 in a row. But I think after last week, they're gonna come out with a win. They need a game plan. They can beat the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals are really that impressive. I really don't. I think they move the ball well and they're able to spread out to other players the ball, but I still think the Ravens defense can stop them.
Yeah, definitely. And they played really well most of the game last week.
Yeah.
And just get points in the second half if you're up.
Yeah, I think Lamar's going to just torch the Bengals defense. He's definitely upset after that loss last week. They kind of just threw that game away. The only thing I could see is just the Ravens defense just doesn't play well. They kind of been doing a lot. Yeah. Sometimes they're
just,
really
forget how to
good.
play
And then,
football.
So I can see that happening, but I think the Ravens win this one.
Last game, Monday night, Raiders Chiefs. Simple. Patrick Mahomes absolutely owns that franchise. He's undefeated against the Raiders, right?
Mm-mm. He lost to them one time,
Okay.
or maybe two.
He owns that division.
One. Yeah,
it's 2 losses to the Chargers
and 1 to the Raiders. Then he never lost to the Broncos.
That's what it was. Okay.
I think he's 23-3 against that division.
That's just
his
insane.
Division. I don't know why I said that division.
His division.
But yeah, I mean, the last 2 years, especially, or just last year, they just absolutely destroyed the Raiders. The Raiders came to Arrowhead and was like standing on their logo before the game, like had a meeting there, and then just got absolutely annihilated.
Yeah,
but
and especially how the Raiders have looked like trash. I could definitely see that happening again.
I think the Chiefs win. I don't think they're gonna like completely destroy them just because like Devontae Adams will probably have a good game. Maybe Josh Jacobs if he could keep it going. But I think the Chiefs are -7. I think they'll cover that spread.
We got some pretty good primetime games other than the Thursday night. Just a little weird. But theoretically, there are some pretty good matchups this week. So I am definitely excited to see. So to go into the records for this week, just everybody clap it up for James. 13-3. Great week. Great week. Me and Tyler went 10-6. You know what? I think it's more impressive that Tyler went 10-6. Clap it up for him.
That's actually crazy.
Big loser of the week is the man who is not here. He went 9-7, so right there with us. Respectable.
Yeah, it's like average. That's like decent week.
Yeah, solid. He's actually went 9-7 every single time. So
yeah,
good job with consistency, Rob. That's the definition of mid. He's like the Kirk Cousins of this podcast. So the full records on the year, I'm 26-22. Rupp is 27-21. Tyler is 22-26, and James is 32-16. Very impressed. Good job. So looking forward to a good week of football. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Till next time.
Take care.
So long.